What's up, y'all? It's your boy Franky Mafia, aka Mr. Bucket, aka Money. I'm on the road right now. I'm in Orlando, Florida. It's at Disney. It's at Universal Studios and Epic Universe. Came out here for that. But anyway, I'm on here doing a live. Just wanted to see how many of y'all following the Diddy trial. I'm gonna be on this live not too long, probably about 10-15 minutes. Just want to see how many of y'all following the Diddy trial. P Diddy trial. How many of y'all think Diddy gonna walk, man? I personally think he's gonna walk. I'm looking at all the lies that the witnesses are telling. They can't get their story straight. They say this, they come back, they say that. So I think he's gonna walk on this, man. I think he's gonna walk. And then the thing about it is, the witnesses that they're interviewing really has nothing to do with the case. He's in charge for sex crimes, racketeering, sex trafficking, all that. And none of the witnesses and the RICO Act, and none of the witnesses that they're bringing, they're not testifying about anything that proves the RICO, nothing that proves sex trafficking. All they're talking about is Cassie. You know, domestic violence, the beatdown he gave Cassie at the hotel. That's all they're talking about. He can't be charged on that. Statute of limitation ran out on that, so he can't be charged on it. They settled that lawsuit. She got her money. So that case is not about domestic violence. So why are they bringing people to testify about domestic violence? It makes no sense. So bottom line is, when the prosecutor started offering Diddy a deal, a plea deal, I know the case was over with. It was falling apart, because with the feds, when the feds start offering you a plea deal is when they don't have you locked in where they're gonna sock it to you. They're gonna give you every bit of that sentence, every bit of that time that charge they got you on carries. So they always say, okay, 96 or 98% conviction with the feds. But people that never been caught up by the feds, really don't know, or don't work for the feds, or work as a federal prosecutor, or just work anywhere in the feds, don't understand that the 96 or 98% conviction rate that they have is not true. It's a myth. The only reason why they have that conviction rate is because people tend to cop out. So people cop out, they get in trouble with the feds, and the minute you hear, oh, you got caught by the feds, you're indicted by the feds, charged by the feds, people tend to get scary about it. They get scared because Fed time, when you get caught by the feds, you're supposed to be looking at a lot of times. And feds ain't like state, where state you do that. I think in the state you do 60% of your time, and then you're out. In the feds you got to do 85% of the time. So people tend to, like, if they're going to get convicted for 10 years, with the feds they got to do 8.5 years before they can get out. The state, a 10-year sentence, they do 6 years, they get out after 6 years. So most people get scared, and what they do is they take these plea deals so that they can get out from up under the charges. So they take the plea deals. So that's why the feds have 96 or 98% conviction rate. I gotta look it up and see what it's a 96 or a 98. But if most of the people that took those plea deals that went to trial with their case did or beat their charges. Because once the feds, you start digging holes into those cases, the evidence, all that, their case begin to fall apart. So they don't want the case falling apart. So a win is a win to them. So they're gonna give you a plea deal, and that's what they've been doing, offering Diddy a plea deal, so they can come up with a win. And he's not taking the plea deal. He's going, he took it to trial. And as I mentioned before, none of the witnesses that they brought to the witness stand, they're interviewing, none of them are talking about anything that's concerning what he's been charged for. Everything is just it's about Cassie getting a beat down in the hotel and other incidents where he may have beat on her and stuff. Kid Cudi in the interview today say that she never mentioned anything to him that she's been raped by Diddy or anything. All she mentioned that, he slapped her around, he beat her a couple times, he kicked her and stuff, but nothing about being raped by Diddy. And no proof of him blowing up the car, Kid Cudi's car, nothing, no proof of that. Nothing points to any evidence of that. So bottom line is that case is falling apart, man. So that's just my opinion. The case is falling apart. Prosecutors losing. They have nothing. I see Diddy walking off this case, man. I see him walking. I see him beating this case. What I think they should do, though, is the male escorts that they've interviewed, that's been witnesses, say that none of the times that they were called to come and offer their service, they were ever called by Diddy. It was always Cassie that called them. That's what they're saying. It was always Cassie that called them to be interviewed, to play. Cassie that called, she called them multiple times. So when you look at it, if she's the one that's always calling, and you remember the other day they had it big saying, he paid the male escort to pee in her mouth and pee all over her. And the same male escort saying, no, Diddy didn't do any of that. Cassie was the one that asked to be peed on and to pee in her mouth. Cassie asked for all that. So bottom line is, man, it's a whole bunch of lies been telling. We don't know who's really telling the lies. But as the interviews go on, you can see that, yeah, it's a whole lot of lies being told. So, bottom line is I think he's going to walk. He's going to get off. So voice your opinion. Let me know what you think about this, if he's going to walk or not. But I think he's going to walk because too much lies being told. And the case has nothing to do, the witnesses that they're interviewing, the beatdown that Cassie got in the hotel has nothing to do with the trial. Has nothing to do with the trial. The beatdown she got has nothing to do with the trial. So, let me know, guys. Voice your opinion. I'm going to get off this live. Just wanted to come on here for a minute. I'm going to get back on with another live later this week. But as I say, I'm going to be watching the trial, watching more of the P Diddy trial, and voicing my opinion. And you guys welcome to voice your opinion. I'm going to actually post a video with some of the recaps from the trial and stuff, the P Diddy trial, and with the witnesses, Kid Cudi, and all the male sex workers, their interviews and stuff. But I think it's at first, when he got locked up, everybody was saying, "Oh man, Diddy's gone forever, man. He's gonna be gone he's gonna get a whole lot of time. You'll never see the streets again." But as the case progresses and keeps going on, and the witnesses keep coming up. And all of these witnesses, don't get me wrong, all these witnesses are on the side of the prosecutor. But the witnesses, their story is weak, and the witnesses that the prosecutor is bringing really has nothing to do with the case. He's been charged with sex trafficking, the RICO Act, all that. But the witnesses, what they're testifying has nothing to do with the actual 5 counts that he's been charged on. All they're testifying is about what he did to Cassie, which we all see. They keep replaying on TV, CNN, on all these channels, TMZ. Everybody keeps replaying the same thing of her getting a beat down in the hotel lobby by the elevator, which y'all seen before. He can't be charged on that. Statute of limitation ran out on that, so he can't be charged on it. So what is the purpose of playing that video over and over and over and over? Bottom line is they want people to, bottom line is they want to make him look real bad, create a monster. But at the same time, that has nothing to do with the case. So what they should be doing is trying to find something that relates to the charges that he's on, sex trafficking, racketeering, instead of playing this video over and over and over and over again about her getting a beat down. I personally think the reason why she went after Diddy and the lawsuit was because she wanted kids with him and he didn't want kids with her, and he went and had a baby with another woman, so that pissed her off. So now she decides to file a lawsuit and start telling her story. And I personally think the guy that she's with, her husband, I think he's just there for the money, man. I think that guy's just milking her for them $20 million that she got from Diddy. That's what I think. I think he's just milking her for that money. I don't think he's like really there for her or want her, because I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't want no woman where over 1,000 men ran through, they peeing on her, they peeing in her mouth, everybody up inside her, she freaky, being freaky parties and stuff, they defecating on her, all that. What real man in his right mind would want to marry a woman like that, settle down with a woman like that? Yeah, that's a girl you can't take home to mama. You can't take her home to your mother, because I wouldn't take a girl like that home to my mother. Why would I want to take a girl home to my mother that over 1,000 different men ran up inside her? Over 1,000 different men ran up inside her. Men peeing on her, men peeing in her mouth, men defecated on her. And so why would you want to take a woman like that home to your mother? So bottom line is, if she got the $20 million, that's the only way a man would stay with her, because she got $20 million, staying with her so he can milk the $20 million out of her. Yeah, they have kids, get some kids, they have kids and stuff. But what your kids gonna say? Later on in life, they realize, okay, their mother was this freak. She had like over 1,000 men that she slept with. 1,000 men ran up in her, peed on her, do all this thing. That's like crazy. And as I said, as a man, I wouldn't want to marry no woman like that. Shit, men out here be like saying, oh, they don't want to marry strippers. Oh, I don't want to marry no stripper, man. Everybody saw her in the nightclub. Everybody saw her in the nightclub, and they see what she got, all that. Same thing with porn stars. They don't want to marry a porn star. So many men that's in the movie, the porn industry, been with her, because that's her profession. So everybody around the globe seen her in those videos and stuff like that. And she getting paid to be a porn star. The Cassie situation is worse. To me, that's worse. That's just me. And that's worse if you got over 1,000 men that went up in you, and they peeing on you, they're defecating on you, they're doing all this stuff to you. To me, that's worse than marrying a stripper or marrying a porn star. I'd rather marry a stripper or a porn star than to marry Cassie. And then to have kids with her. That's crazy, man. Crazy. How you gonna explain that to your kids later? Although you probably don't have to explain that to your kids. But I'll be, that'll be like, I just don't know how I would be able to take a girl like that home to my mother and say, hey, this is who I love, this is who I'm marrying, and then she's seen all that on the internet that this girl been with 1,000 different men, been peed on, been shitted on, all that, defecated on. That shit is just wild, crazy, crazy. That's why Diddy didn't want kids with her, because I guess you're looking at it saying, look, damn man, she freaky. All these men running up and down inside her, peeing on her and stuff. It ain't the right fit to have kids with her. So she got mad. Pissed about the situation, mad about the situation. And the man that she's with, I bet when this trial is over with, all is over with, I think personally that her and her husband it's gonna be the end. They're gonna break up. They're gonna break up, her and her husband. They're gonna break up. He's gonna get half of that 20 million because I have a strong feeling she did not sign a prenup before she got married to him. And even if she signed a prenup, they got married before she got the $20 million lawsuit filed. The lawsuit filed and got the $20 million paid out. So even if she had a prenuptial agreement, he's still going to get half of that money. Whatever docuseries they're going to do, or a Netflix special, or whatever movie she going to do about this Diddy situation, he going to get half of that money, especially in a divorce. So I think he's just really there for the money. I don't know how y'all feel, but I think he's there for the money. He's going to wipe out that money, wipe half of that money, maybe even wipe all of it out, because he probably the one pulling the string, controlling her and stuff like that. You can tell by her when they have her on the witness stand that she's still in love with Diddy. She still wants Diddy. And she also say on the witness stand that a lot of the stuff that she did, she stayed with him because she didn't want another woman to have him. So she stayed with Diddy because she didn't want another woman to have him. So she stayed with him. And all the stuff that she did, she wanted to please him because she was so in love with him. So she did all that to please him by sleeping with these men and women and calling them up, flying them in from wherever they're coming from to do these freak offs because she wanted to please him. And she didn't leave. You're getting abused. You go visit family, friends. You had a choice where you didn't have to go back home. And you didn't have to go back home at all. You didn't have to go back home at all. You could have went your ways, but you stayed for the money because you wanted the money. You stayed for the money. You stayed for the glam. You stayed for the glory. And most of all, you stayed for the freak off because you're a freak. You wanted a freak off. So you stayed for the freak off. And she also said she didn't want no other woman to have Diddy. So that's one of her main reasons why she stayed. To me, that's like, you're not being abused. If that's the case, you're not being abused. You're just in a, you have women out there that say, if I've come across women that say if a man don't beat them, they don't think the man in love with them. I've come across women that say that. And I personally know women that they're getting their ass kicked day in, day out. Day and night they're getting their ass kicked, but they're not leaving the man they're with. They're not leaving the man they're with, and they're getting their ass beat because they're so much in love that they don't even worry about the ass whooping they're getting. And they don't want another woman to have that man, so they stay and they take the ass whooping. And some of them that say, okay, if the man don't beat them, they don't think the man loves them. That's how some of those women say. To me, that's stupidity. That's stupidity. You with a man that's kicking your ass and you saying that if the man don't beat you, you don't think he loves you. No, you psycho. You're a psychopath. So I think personally, he's gonna walk. Did he gonna walk from this case because the feds, their case falling apart, and the witnesses, too many witnesses that are being interviewed. Too many witnesses that are being interviewed, and it has nothing to do with the case. Nothing to do with the case. I think she should get. I think she should get charged too with sex trafficking. That's how I see it. Because if she's the one that's always calling, let me see some of these comments. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, she's gonna get sued by. She's gonna get sued. She's gonna get sued by some of these male escorts. She's gonna get sued by them. I don't know how they haven't started sooner yet. She's gonna get sued by them. Some of those females also, and she's probably gonna be brought up on charge because when the prosecutors can't get their ways and they can't get nothing out of you, then they flip the script on you and file charges against you. So that's eventually what's going to happen to her. Kid Cudi, his testimony has nothing to do with the trial today. Nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with the trial. His testimony, because Diddy's charged with 5 counts, sex trafficking, and the RICO Act, and none of these witnesses, as I say, that's coming forward has nothing. What they're testifying about has nothing to do with the case. It's just they're just talking about what Cassie told them about the beat down, all that, and Kid Cudi's car getting blown up, and Diddy in his house, and him and Diddy having a conversation, and he leaving Cassie after because he said the situation is toxic. And I think Kid Cudi, is a freak also because they've been posting pictures of him in a dress, wearing negligee, dressing like a woman, all that. So I don't know, man. I think he got some, and then he looked sweet anyway. He looked sweet. He looked like he on the fence. He looked like he liked men more than women. That's how I see Kid Cudi looking like. He liked men more than women. That's just my opinion. Maybe Jaguar Wright will start putting Kid Cudi's story out there because Jaguar Wright knows everybody's business. So maybe she'll start telling, what Kid Cudi's about, what he's into, all that. So, and Kid Cudi said that he was in love with Cassie. That's what he said. He was in love with Cassie, and he broke it off because the relationship was toxic and Diddy being there and stuff, so he broke it off. I don't think Kid Cudi was in love with Cassie. I think he probably just wanted to enhance his career. She with Diddy, and he's trying to get close to Diddy so he can be invited to the Diddy parties and stuff. So he started messing with her and stuff. Enhance his career. That didn't go because he wanted to. Bad press is also good press. So they see him out with Cassie. That gets in the news. Oh, Kid Cudi is dating Diddy's ex. So that puts him out there in the limelight. Anyway, he got kicked off. Whether she ended it, he ended it or not, it didn't work. His car got blown up. This dude was like, car got blown up. He said that he was scared, all that. It's a whole bunch of nonsense, man. It's just like you can't believe some of these lies that they've been telling. You can't believe some of these lies they've been telling. I just really think that this case is falling apart. A lot of y'all not going to agree that the case is falling apart, but as I say, when the feds got you locked in, When the feds got you locked in and they got something on you, when they got you locked in, they are not gonna offer you no plea deal, especially when they got you on a RICO and they got you with sex trafficking. If they got you locked in and they're sure about their they're sure about their case, it's a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk to them. They're not giving you no plea deal. They're trying to send you away for a long time. They're trying to lock your ass up for a long time. They're not giving you no plea. See how they did with R. Kelly? They didn't give R. Kelly no plea deal. They wanted to put R. Kelly in prison for a long time, so they ain't giving no plea deal. So when they have something strong against you, they're not giving you no plea deal. And last time I checked, when Giuliani, when he was prosecutor before he became mayor of New York, Giuliani was the one that brought to life the RICO Act. He the one that invented that, the RICO Act, so he could take down the mafia, take down the Italian mafia. And when they have a RICO against you, it's multiple people that's involved in the RICO, multiple people that's involved in the RICO, not just one man. Because so far, got a RICO charge and only Diddy is named in the RICO charge. No one else. No one else is named in the RICO charge, just Diddy alone. So what type of shit is that? You have a RICO charge, but only Diddy alone is on that RICO, nobody else. And then the witnesses that you're bringing, not one of these witnesses are related to the charge. All of these witnesses that you're bringing forth in the case is just related to Cassie getting a beat down, somebody that say that Cassie may have told, oh, Diddy was beating her, somebody Cassie may have told that, oh, he treated her bad. None of them have opened their mouth and say, yeah, she say Diddy raped her. None of them said that, because they asked Kid Cudi, did Cassie say that Diddy raped her? And Kid Cudi said no, she never mentioned that no time at all. All she mentioned was Diddy been abusive to her. He beat her a couple times, kicked her, all that. That's all. I don't see how that is going to make the prosecution's case strong in a RICO Act and sex trafficking act. Cassie can't say she was sex trafficking because they were together as a couple. They were all over the place, award shows and stuff like that. So there's no way you could have been sex trafficking. If you're with this man, you're claiming this man is your man, you flying on a private jet, you're going places, some of the time places by yourself. You're at the award shows. So you can't be sex trafficking. And the people that are sex workers that flew from wherever they at to go see Diddy at the parties and stuff for Cassie, those people got on the plane themselves. Nobody put them on the plane. And at the same time, Cassie was the one. She even said out of her mouth, she was the one that got them to come to her. And the people that, the managers for these sex workers say, it's Cassie that's always calling. She want this and this person, request the person by name. And it's right throughout the year. And not only right throughout the year, wherever they at, whether they're in Miami, California, or New York, she's the one who always calling to request the sex workers. So she should be the one that is on the sex trafficking charges. I don't know how they haven't done that yet, but I guess because the domestic violence played a role, they try to use that as sympathy, making her look more of a victim, so they don't want to charge her. So is it like she can play the victim because of the beatdown, but what about all the other women and men that was treated bad that Cassie brought there? Why can't they be victims? You know, they're sex workers. Why can't they be victims? And really, you know, if they're going to play the victim, and really they got paid. So all these sex workers that showed up at his the freak off, they're getting paid. They know what they were showing up for. They didn't blindfold them and bring them in and say, okay, well, now you're going to have to leave. They got paid for a service. Just like at the strip clubs. You have girls in the strip club, they dance, but at the same time, some of them do stuff to make extra money. They try to hook up with you after you leave the strip club, take your number, meet you after the strip club, or meet you on the days that they off. You have, like, say, swingers clubs. Don't forget about that, guys. Swingers clubs. You have a lot of swingers clubs here in the United States. Atlanta, where I live, plenty of swingers clubs. New Orleans, plenty of swingers clubs. New York. And swingers clubs are totally legal. They got liquor license from the state and from the city. They got their liquor license. So, and the government knows, the city government and the state government knows that this is a swingers club. This is where people go in and they're having orgies and stuff. They're meeting other people. Wife and husbands go in there, swapping out each other. Singles go in there, and it's totally legal. So swingers club is technically a freak off. The only thing is that they got a liquor license and they're paying the government money. They're paying taxes to the government on every dime they make at a freak off. So yeah, swingers club is a freak off. And as I say back earlier, Hugh Hefner, owner of the Playboy Mansion and the Playboy magazine, who's dead now, Hugh Hefner had the biggest freak-offs. He had the biggest freak-offs from the 1960s up until the day he died at the Playboy Mansion. And we're talking about like, we're talking about the girls start going to the Playboy Mansion from their 17, being the magazines. And Hugh Hefner ran through all these girls that was at the Playboy Mansion. He ran through all of them. Married a few of them. Divorced them a couple months later. And all of these girls, Playboy Mansion, the feds went after Hugh Hefner several times. They went after Hugh Hefner and was not able to bring him up on charges or convict him of anything. He always slipped out the crack. The reason why he was able to slip out and not get convicted of any sex crime was because politicians, we're talking about presidents, senators, congressmen, chief of police, people in the feds, high-ranking officers in the feds and directors, talking about big wig people, a whole lot of big wig people been going to the Playboy Mansions, to those parties and stuff. Rappers, actors, everybody, judges, lawyers, prosecutors, been going to the Playboy Mansions. Chief of police in the city, your sheriff, to the Playboy Mansions. Everybody always wanted to get invited to the Playboy Mansions. So, you ask any of these rappers and movie stars that's been invited to Playboy Mansion, they're going to tell you, oh man, they couldn't wait to get invited, and when they got the invitation, they went to the Playboy Mansion. I wanted to go to Playboy Mansion when I was in my 20s. I always see Snoop and all these people get invited to the Playboy Mansion. I wanted to go because I seen all these girls at the Playboy Mansion, pretty and stuff, and they look good. So all these politicians, presidents and stuff, they've been at the Playboy Mansion, and as I said, the Playboy Mansion is one of the biggest freak-offs ever. They have a freak-off. Hugh Hefner was having a freak-off every day of the week. 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and whenever it's a leap year, 366. A freak-off until the day he died. So that's the biggest freak-off. He never got brought up on charges, never got charged with sex trafficking, because these girls got to come from different states to his states, or if they're in the state of California, you know, go to the Playboy Mansion, they get invited to become a part of Playboy, because you got to have a certain look and you got to be a certain age to be a part of a Playboy. Once they get to a certain age, they kick them out. I think after they get to, like, say 24 or 25, they kick them out of the Playboy Mansion. They no longer want them there because now they're considered old. So they get there from their 17, which 17 is underage. Jeffrey Epstein, same thing. Well, he ended up getting caught up and then getting killed in his cell, which they keep saying it's a suicide, but we know, I think it's like they knocked him off. Or maybe he's probably not dead. Maybe he's just like, they just pretended, you know, put a body in there and pretend that he's dead because he had so much money and knew so much about all these politicians. But anyway, they had the biggest freak-off parties and stuff. Harvey Weinstein, big freak out parties, and all these people that went to the freak out parties. So bottom line is, a freak out party is something that these people know willingly that they're going to, and they want to go, and they go there. They don't just show up and oh, it's a freak out party. Oh well, you can't go nowhere. You're gonna have to stay. No, they know what they're getting into, and they went. A lot of these rappers that say they never been to a Diddy party, a lot of them lying. You know, actors, they lying. All of them been to the Diddy party, because I remember throughout the 90s when I was signed to LaFace Records as a rapper, music producer, and I started my own label. Before I ever started my own label, Godfather Records Entertainment Film, I was signed to LaFace, and I was going, doing music, performing on stage, going places, opening up for other artists and stuff. And everybody in the music industry and the film industry, all they talked about was Diddy parties. They want to go to a Diddy party. They want to go to a Diddy party. Now, bear in mind, when we talk about a Diddy party, we didn't know about what was happening at the party after the first party. But everybody always said Diddy throw a mean party. But every party, whether it's Diddy throwing it or another person throwing it, always have an after party. They always have an after party. So all those people that stayed at the after party knew what they were getting into. They stayed because they wanted to stay. As I say, sex sells. In this industry, sex sells. That's why you see female artists dress the way they do. They take their clothes off on stage. They're like wearing next to nothing on stage. In their music video, next to nothing. All of them that you see right now. Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, Lotto, all that dress nothing on stage, because sex sells. Not that they don't have talent, they got some good music. They're really talented. They got good music, but if they put on clothes and dress up like Erykah Badu and all these other people, people not gonna really pay attention to them, because it's the time and era that we live in where sex sells. People want to see, the audience want to see you having on next to nothing as a woman. So they dress like that, sell albums, sell music, sell out their shows. Their concert is sold out. So sex sells. So everybody's going to gravitate towards these freak off, these after parties in the industry that they know women going to be in there and stuff, because only men that's not going to gravitate to these parties where women at, and they dress seductive. They have nothing on or whatever, and sex is there. Is the only men that's not going to go there is men that are not into women, men that are into other men, and they don't want to be around women. So that's the thing. So that's what it is. So they can't say they never been there, man. They've been there. A lot of them lying. But bottom line, I'm gonna get off this live. I think he's gonna walk the case. Too much holes is in that case. The prosecution case is falling apart. He's going to get off. The most I think Diddy going to get is a slap on the wrist. That's it. The most he's going to get is a slap on the wrist. Don't do this, because too many powerful people are involved. Billionaires, presidents, congressmen, prosecutors, judges, chief of police, directors from all them federal departments and stuff. Too many of them been to those parties, so he's going to get off. Too many names to be called, and the thing about it is the prosecutor can't go calling all of these people there, because some of these people are too powerful. They're going to shut that shit down before they can call them or try to indict them on anything. They're going to shut that shit down. You see the man, that federal prosecutor that brought up Diddy on charges in New York, shortly after he brought Diddy up on charges, he went and he messed with the mayor of New York, brought him up on charges. You see what happened? A couple of days later, or a week later, he's no longer on the Diddy case. He's no longer on the mayor of New York case. He's been kicked off it and relocated to another district. I think they probably moved him to another state. He may be even in Georgia, where I'm at, maybe in Atlanta. But they took him off that case, kicked him to the curb, because he went digging where they didn't want him to dig. So they got rid of him, kicked him off the case, kicked him off the Diddy case, kicked him off the mayor's case, and relocated him. That's how powerful these people are when it comes to politics. When you start getting in their way, they're going to get rid of you. They're going to kick you out the way. But anyway, even when this live is over with, guys, drop a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm in Orlando, Florida right now. I checked out Epic Universe. It's dope. You got to check that out. And I was at Universal Studio. I'm on the way to Miami tomorrow. I'll be down in Miami for Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to be on the beach. I'm going to do a couple live of the Air and Sea Show. The Blue Angels flying over, the Stealth Bomber flying over, the battleships, everything. So I'm going to do a live and I'm going to shoot some videos for YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification so whenever I go live or upload videos, you get a notification. And we're going to talk more about Diddy tomorrow because I'm going to put together a video of some of the updates from the case, from the trial going on. And we're going to talk about it tomorrow in another live. So hit that notification so when I go live, you get that notification. And I'm going to respond to your comments from this live so you can check it to get the notification. This is your boy Franky Mafia, a.k.a. Mr. Bucket, a.k.a. Money. I'm in Orlando. I'm chilling by the pool. Let's see, you guys can see it. I'm at my hotel chilling by the pool. I'll see you guys on the next live. Don't forget to hit that notification. Appreciate the love. Thanks, y'all. Peace.